Hello.
Can you hear us now? Can we be heard?
No, it's frozen up for me. There we go.
I had to actually stop streaming. Can we be heard?
Okay, there we are.
Woo!
Woohoo!
We were sitting here. We started off saying, "Bear with us. We're having technical difficulties," because the stream didn't want to load on Jess's phone.
It's true.
We hadn't even got to the "no one could hear us" aspect of the evening. Oh God, I love technology. I do this for a living. I can't. Well, actually, no. Technically, we have. I don't know how long we've actually been streaming.
I don't know either.
I'll be safe. I'll be nice. Good. Won't speak the dirty language.
Not in front of the youths.
Can't say dirty words in front of the youths of YouTube. It's been a week. Greetings. Stay a while and listen.
No idea.
Alright, so yeah, Kirby just seems to have no control over his arms or legs.
Honestly, that's how I feel during a flare, so, I feel you.
So this is a multiplayer game, should you want to join. We do have various modes.
I only barely exist.
Yeah, just only exists in theory right now.
It's questionable.
So the whole world, we run around on, food, basically. So Kirby gets disgusting. He's just covered in whatever pink goo this is. Roll up around some chocolate. We've got enemies. The whole goal is to eat strawberries. To kill that, eat a strawberry. Kill these things, eat some berries. If you fall, he will automatically try to get back to land, but you can also press the A button to float around. You get power-ups, like this power-up. We turn into jelly as I fall off the side immediately. Jelly is easier to control in certain terrains.
There's always room for Jello.
There's always room for Jello. So basically the controls are...
I'll just stick with my old press buttons until something works.
Like, these two just jump, this uses special abilities. That's about it. So, yeah, we can return to the home table. Yeah, I knew Libet wasn't going to be able to watch this one because, it's...
We'll see if I can make it through what with my my constant migraines these days.
So I don't think you'll do well with the... Press Eleanor? With the races, but I also don't do well with the races. So the mini games are what I think we'll focus on for the bulk of the co-op. Hop into cups, eat strawberries. That is...
Okay.
You're the yellow Kirby. We have 30 seconds. Cups will randomly appear. And you just gotta hop into them and eat some delicious strawberries. And you've got to screw over your opponents to the best of your abilities. Controls are guesstimates at best.
I am bad at this.
And driving out to Jazz last year, I was listening to Keelix and Rotter stream during the last part of my drive to keep me awake. Yeah, I mean, watching the gameplay is really just half of the stream. The other half is our witty commentary when you can fucking hear it.
You know.
We have to crumble crates and eat strawberries. So you have to smack into a box multiple times.
Okay.
And then eat the berries that spew out from it. No, I want to knock the blue guy. Oh, you can't knock the blue guy off this one. I wanted to murder him. Because you and I are just beating the crap out of each other. We keep like, we'll go a different note. We're going the same direction. Also, the disembodied hands in the background. Look at my colorful balls. Look at me wave them.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna ruin Kirby. That's just the point.
I mean, I never had any attachment to Kirby, so that's fine. I think this is literally the first time I've played Kirby of any.
This is the first Kirby game you've played?
Sure.
Alright, well now I know what we're live streaming next week. We're gonna live stream a classic Kirby game, like Kirby All-Stars for the SNES. Like, that's, yeah.
Oh, that was Lexington. You didn't go through Louisville. That would have made your trip even longer.
No, Epic Yarn might be a good first one.
Oh, I'm not even fucking. Where am I? Okay, there I am. I'm doing a thing, not doing things well.
I'm doing the thing. I'm killing. I love how ending the lives
Thousands of innocents.
Killing all of these creatures. That is a weird. I haven't seen carrots, or at least like sliced carrots in cheese fondue. Like the baby carrots, yes, we get those in the vegetable cups. Also, Amber has never had fondue, and I'm sitting here going, God damn, if it... Like, when was the last time we went and had fondue? When was the last time?
Birthday, the year
2019?
before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You're
Yeah,
the most entertaining video game. I thank you.
Has horses.
I'm glad you think so.
Much easier to get, thrown off course and into horse pastures, so, yeah. God, I'm tired.
Okay, we'll go back. So we have costumes and colors. If you want to be a different.
I do want to be a different color. I don't like yellow.
Let's see. How do we change yours? Can we? Or are you just going to be cursed to be yellow?
Yep, I think so.
Let's see. What happens if I'm yellow? that makes
Okay.
you red with a bandana.
Well, alright.
And the problem is, I guarantee you we're going to be fucking thinking we're the opposite person.
You know, it's not going to mess with me because I'm already doing terribly, so...
Why is he Kirby instead of... So, the different colors are named after different things, and I don't quite understand enough Kirby lore to say I know anything about this. Oh god, I got hit by whatever. I think the blue one might have won. Kiro is Japanese for yellow. Ah, yeah. Well.
Hey, I came in second that time.
You did. An ice cream scoop on top of a waffle. It's just like a waffle cone, just not cone. In the before times. Yeah, we used to do melting pot at least once a year, sometimes twice. But yeah. Hop into cups and eat strawberries. You alright?
I'm fine. Just gonna hate my body. I'm trying to do right by it, going like physical therapy and shit, but
and then
it's just hateful.
Gets
Treats
angry
me
with
like
me.
Garbage.
Gets angry with me and is like, I'm doing this for you.
I admittedly not true for the last week, so I have not been doing things for my body.
Yes, the server who is... So, we went to Melting Pot, and it was a large group of us. And we told the server already that we were going to be just a massive pain in his ass, and we apologized ahead of time, but I'm like, I promise we're all going to tip really well for it. But, like, we were splitting up the bill amongst, like, 3 people, because it was such a large group.
Yeah, and 2 separate food allergies.
2 separate food allergies, and one of them, Libbit's, was high fructose corn syrup, which is really difficult to nail down, because a lot of ingredients, they list corn syrup or fructose syrup when it's really HFCS. It's the high fructose. And so, like, we asked the servers, like, can you check? And he's like, that's one I've never heard before. And, he proceeds to take our order for drinks, and then he comes back with the drinks, and we ask, were you able to check? He's like, oh, God, no, I forgot. I'm sorry, because, it's a large group. We weren't his only table. He was a little flammed. But then the other table left, so it was just us. And he comes back a little bit later, and we ask him, he's like, oh, God, I'm just going to go back into the kitchen and rethink my life choices for a minute. Because he was so flustered, and we could hear, and then there was one time we went, where we were asking about it, and, we could hear, we were right next to the kitchen, and we heard the server just, kick open the door and just yell, high fructose corn syrup, what's it in? It just kicks open the door and it's like, I got a food allergy. But no, the people at that particular restaurant, they've been super, super accommodating, and I love them. And I'm very disappointed we haven't been able to go back in so long because of the COVID. What's funny is, I don't know if I told you this. So I was telling Amber about fondue. She did not know what fondue was.
Okay.
She thought it was the chocolate fountain. And so when I was explaining to her that it's not just chocolate, it's cheese and, meats,
Yeah.
she was very concerned about hot oil coming out of a fountain. And so I'm like, no, it's not like that. It's just, fondue is just a fancy bougie double boiler. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
But it got me thinking, and I could not find it to show her. Do you remember that video of the guy who had the chocolate fountain that he put the cheese in, and it just started spinning around and flinging this...
No.
Oh my god. I know I can't have been the only person to see this, so hopefully some of you have seen this too. But there's this guy who has a chocolate fountain, and he has it disassembled. If you haven't seen what the inside of a chocolate fountain is, it's basically just like a corkscrew spiral that goes up, and it just brings the liquid chocolate up, and it just kind of cascades over these domes. He removed the dome, so it was just the corkscrew spiral, and he put cheese in it. And it's hot enough to where it kind of melted the cheese into a malleable state at the bottom, but not enough to turn it into a liquid state as you would need for fondue. And so as it's going up the corkscrew, it's cooling because it's moving. And it's solidifying, but it's still somewhat malleable cheese, and it just starts stretching and spinning, and it hits him in the face, and he starts freaking out. This large, massive cheese is just...
I was about to ask, what the fuck kind of YouTube have you been watching? But I know what kind of YouTube you watch.
The youth.
The youths.
Normal corn syrup. All of our data lives on satellites. I mean, yeah. I've often said I feel very sorry for the NSA. NSA is the one who monitors us. Well,
there are a couple agencies that do that, but...
Well, the one that's supposed to. The others that just do it illegally. I feel very sorry for the agent that has to keep track of my search history, because it's just some of the weirdest shit. I'm doing concept, my binder for my card game notes sitting here, because I have been searching for pieces for concept art so that we can get the character designs. And the character that I just got is a Dragon Man cleric. I showed Jess this because one of the pictures that showed up was just the height of the fuckery. So I'm looking for cleric outfits, not like armored clerics, but like clerical robes and vestments. And I forget, what did I say that I was searching?
Well, you went with, female monk was on there, female cleric was questionable, but you found some stuff, but it was female brawler that got you in trouble.
Female
And I
brawler.
could have told you that.
Yeah, female brawler. This didn't show up in the female brawler, but it showed up in the cleric vestments. It was a female nun. And I say nun very loosely.
None only in the sense that there were crosses apparent and not any other religious symbology. Yeah. It was all crosses.
And crosses apparent right on the
tassels off of the stole that stopped at nipples.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing underneath. Combat high heel, thigh high boots. She did have the staff that she was carrying was awesome. The rest of the outfit was just atrocious.
It wasn't an outfit. It was.
I have seen burlesque dancers with.
After the stripping
with more of an outfit, especially a
more
themed burlesque.
Tasteful outfit. Even if that's just nude. It's a more tasteful outfit.
This was just an awful outfit. But I sent it to Jess and I walked out because Jess was in the living room. And I'm just like...
I'm pulling it up on my phone just
as I'm
he
walking
walks
up,
in.
and I'm like, I'm not going to be the only one to see this. I'm gonna subject you to this because I just need to know the fuck.
Yeah.
I'll do a couple of races while your rib proceeds to...
Yeah, got some fibro shit going on. It's almost like I've been stressing myself out.
Nudity can be tasteful. Some clothing cannot. See MAGA hat. Oh, no.
Oh. Sorry.
It's alright. I didn't realize it was going to stay 2 players when I did it. Well, I'll change color and see what other color. Kirby yellow, ice blue, tea green, fire red, D orange. I kind of like ice blue. Like the blue Kirby. He's adorable. I'm blue. One of the Game Grumps bitches is, I'm blue, Tabby, I'm blue, and just keeps repeating blue, and they kind of lose the tone of that song. Blue, blue, blue.
Listening to my depression in real time.
Blue.
Blue.
Strawberries on burgers.
Okay.
Could be doable.
Actually, yeah. I could see that working. With a bacon onion jam. Not with pickles, though.
Yeah, no.
That doesn't work for me. It's gonna be a no for me.
Jelly. So many. Oh god.
God, we're all gonna die.
You gotta break the cookie wall.
That's just rude.
Oh, the skillet handle. No, you stay behind me, yellow Kirby. Oh, god damn it, he snuck in front of me with his jelly-like body. Well, I've got the jelly now. I've got 72, 3, 96 strawberries. $98. 100. There's weird strawberry rhubarb things out there, so like, yeah, I don't understand strawberry and rhubarb. I just don't understand rhubarb.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Like, and who was the historical taste tester for that? This part'll kill you. This part'll kill you. That one's, it's not tasty,
What?
but you can eat it.
I'm trying to think. There was a thing that I saw about a food that was, if you boil it 3 times, empty the water each time, and like boil it, empty the water, add more water, boil it again. Like the 3rd time you can eat it. And I'm sitting here going,
Taro, maybe?
maybe, but they're like who thought? I mean, you probably had to have been hungry enough to be like, well, maybe the 3rd time. Like,
yeah. I mean, I know you have to, like, do some serious, diligent work with taro, because it'll make you sick. There was one year, God, I can't remember how long ago, at least a decade ago, where a bunch of school kids in the Philippines ended up with pretty serious food poisoning from their tapioca, because the taro hadn't been
Oh no.
Properly taken care of. Oh, okay. That.
Yeah, when you get, so many strawberries, your mass increases. The breaking the candy wall is probably the most obnoxious thing.
I imagine that's true for a lot of things, Seven, but I have to think that there are some that, like, it was just the plant that was growing, and it was, like, the only option for a small nomadic family or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the court chef stuff, it was, not all the time, but a lot of it was taking stuff that had been brought over from here with white people saying they knew what to do better with it than the natives did, and so just, did whatever and made themselves sick on perfectly edible food.
$118, 19, $120. That's the most I've gotten. Well, I mean, like, blowfish.
Yeah.
How many sushi chefs had to be like, there's gotta be something useful in this goddamn fish that won't kill me?
It's like playing Operation, but trying to find the lack of neurotoxin.
My favorite was the episode of The Simpsons where Homer goes to the sushi shop and asks for it, but it's the apprentice chef, and he's like, I can't, the master chef is busy. The master chef was making out with Miss Krabappel and in like his car in the back parking lot. And he's like, my incredibly skilled hands are busy, can't you see? And so he has to go and he has to try it himself. And he's got this giant blowfish and he starts cutting into it because it's got the guide of, he poke and it just deflates. He's like, oh no. Like, that is the best. Like, I just... Compliments of the chef, Kirby Canvas.
Who is not out back making out with Miss Krabappel. Okay, I think I can sit without wanting to die for a minute.
Hey, you're still right. Okay. But yeah, I just question. I mean, humans are very resilient, and so, like, there's a lot of times that we've probably eaten something. It's like, oh God, that makes me sick. I probably shouldn't do that again, and not just outright killed you. But the things that have just outright killed people.
Oh, that's which one I am. I was just looking at a whole bunch of color trying to figure out what was happening. Oh, God.
Also, different food terrain types change your movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep getting stuck in the chocolate.
Yeah, Kirby doesn't seem to be big on chocolate for mobility. Got real messed up by brass and iron, lead.
Yeah. Arsenic.
Tastes like almonds.
Radium.
God, radium was just a...
Yep.
I want to know who thought it was a good idea to have a radioactive fucking element. A, on your wristwatches. B, having women paint it on wristwatches with...
Women aren't people. They're disposable, and so it doesn't matter. And it was poor women anyway. Who needs them around?
Just so much of that was just...
I am Jesse James's, like, burning rage.
This hand of mine burns with an awesome power.
Oh, somebody just gave me a concussion. That was rude.
I mean,
Oh, I keep running into it, though, because I'm not paying attention. Shit. Look, I'm just trying to mind my own business, okay?
Look, I'm just trying to eat these berries. Could you just... Could you get
Like, are you gonna feed me? I don't think so. Let me eat.
Still got idiots ingesting silver. Oh, God. I read an article about someone who saw that silver was antimicrobial. Colloidal silver, mind you. And thought, well, I'm sick. Maybe I'll just eat some colloidal silver. That's almost as dumb as, you know, a certain clown-in-chief making an offhand statement that's a joke that you should inject bleach into your veins.
So, you know, it's antibacterial.
No one ever went broke underestimating the intelligence of the American public.
Yep. God, it's
Silver
exhausting.
enemas. Oh, that sounds like some Gwyneth Paltrow shit.
And you thought the coffee enemas were bad.
Behold my...
Like, excuse me, if you're gonna give me coffee, I would prefer to enjoy it. Like, I like coffee. I need to make sure I make some coffee tonight. No. Rude.
I'm on fire.
You pointed at me. Like an asshole. Yeah, I have 4.
Oh my god. Jade vagina. Would you?
That is Stephanie E. Meyer's new book series.
And the product line is designed by Gwyneth Paltrow. Here's my jade.
Oh, Belle!
My jade egg. It's designed to be inserted.
Why don't you look and see what you find within, Edward?
Ah.
I win. I win. I got 4 strawberries, but I win.
I've got to put on a fucking burger hat. Is what I got to do. I've discovered something interesting for your Okami LP. Oh God, I have to know now. Because anything involving Okami, because Okami is like just super Japanese myth and legends, just like oozing out of every orifice. So this can go so many ways, and so many of them are just awkward and terrible.
Oozing out of every orifice.
Orifices.
Is the follow-up to Jade Vaginal Intrigues. Now it's oozing. God, I don't know what's wrong. I do know what's wrong with me. I'm exhausted.
I'm about to say, I could tell you what's wrong with you.
What was it that I was having trouble saying earlier?
Well, you said you were listening to the Winter Fountain.
It was pouring boiling water. I could not.
Tell you about Tanamo Onome, Legendary Kitsune, checking out kanji for a name they could legitimately interpret right. Snared by the sparkly hoo-ha.
I love it.
That's the subtitle of Stephanie Meyer's second book.
So
Jade Vaginal Intrigue, snared by the sparkly hoo-ha.
I can't remember which one it was, but there was a Tex-Mex restaurant that my husband and I used to go to, and one of their like T-shirts you could buy actually it was pink, and it was a sparkly taco. So I guess you can say I've already been ensnared by the sparkling hoo-ha.
I love how my live streams, they just go in a direction. And it's all you guys, my wonderful audience is really...
We learned it from watching you.
Now, is that my audience talking to me, or is that us talking to my audience?
Both? Feel like it's both. Yeah, I'm a fan of the sparkly hoo-ha.
Ease up on the bedazzling. It's a pair of pants, not a chandelier. Should we be worried about the kids in the audience? Nah, it's okay. This is culture. I wonder if I could start labeling my live streams as cultural entertainment.
It sure is something.
It's.
Yeah.
All right. So I haven't seen him on the live streams recently, but I'm friends with him on Facebook. Neil. He did some fan art. He was the one that did the "Oops, all marshmallows" art for my serial killer.
Yeah.
I want to reach out to him and like, I have a book cover parody that I want you to do. Jade Vaginal Intrigue. Ensnared by that sparkling hoo-ha.
I mean,
have fun.
It would be much crappier, but I want to rate it down to be like something I have to go back and sketch out later.
I mean, I'm gonna text it to you.
Okay.
I'm gonna text it to you right now, just for you to go back.
So I was going through some shit a while ago and trying to like clear whatever out, and I found a card that I had put somewhere thinking I would remember it. I could not recognize the handwriting on the envelope, and I opened it up, and it was the Happy Birthday Gramps card that I got as a Christmas card from Colin. So I have Happy Birthday, Gramps.
So
we love you. Blah blah blah.
I'm sure we've talked about Colin on the live streams. He's a friend of ours. We met him through Libet. Libet's known him. I mean, almost as long as I've known Pat. Like honestly, like they've known each other for fucking ever.
Yeah.
Colin is just a level of brilliant that borders on psychotic. So one year for Giftmas, he brought us all giant stuffed teddy bears.
Yeah.
And it took us several hours to realize that he had actually cut them open and removed some of the stuffing, put presents inside them and sewn them back up.
So we had to murder teddy bears.
So we had a whole bunch of murder teddy bears filled with presents. The year before that, he brought just an arsenal of Nerf guns and just one for everyone. Mind you, we were living in a one-bedroom apartment at this point, and we had 8 people with Nerf guns, all about as close as I am to Jess, just shooting each other.
That stings.
But the last Giftmas celebration we had in the before times, he gave more normal gifts.
Tailored to, like, the person.
To the person.
But the most bizarre Christmas.
But the most... No, they weren't Christmas cards.
That's the point.
Yeah,
like,
they were, like, but they were for any other occasion. Like, I was given, like, a 5-year-old's birthday card, which controller is low battery? Yours. Okay. But
no,
like,
it's yours, isn't it?
No, that's player 1. That's player 2.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong damn thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I actually have had that happen before with another friend, who also happens to be the person who he and his brother have been exchanging the same birthday card for 20 years. Just crossing it out, signing it, handing it back. Like,
yeah, like, I got a 5-year-old's birthday card, like, we're proud of you, champ. And then the gift they gave me was a Genesis Mini. I'm like, this seems so oddly out of place.
you know?
But so accurate at the same time.
And I got a bar set, so, you know. I guess it can be a mid-century modern Gramps.
I don't think I won that one.
But yeah. The one that I got from Tony years ago was one that he had picked up from a thrift store. It had already been filled out and sent to somebody. And so I got an Easter card that was like 20 years old that was addressed to someone I didn't know. And that was my Christmas card.
Happy Easter, Tabitha.
What? And it was like a long message. I think it was like grandma to granddaughter or something. Like, it's this long message on the inside. That's what I got for a Christmas card. I think that's the same year he wrote me the poem for Christmas.
Out of my way, other Kirbys. I'm here to consume. Consume Prilosec.
I don't know. I've been tempted to, like, every time I make the drive to and from Kentucky, to stop off at, like, the shitty truck stops and just get, like, a handful of postcards from each one. And that'll be everybody's Christmas cards.
I have friends who are either in the UK or regularly in the UK. I want to see if they can find me, like, just weird postcards. Because there's like a town in Sweden where everyone cosplays as Americans. I would love like just a set of postcards from there, just to send those to people. Be like, Merry Christmas.
That's funny. Yeah, no. Snare by the spark.
I mean, I message it to you. You're Baum Kitchen. Race to Strawberry Mountains. Look at my little burger hat.
Candy Mountain, Charlie.
Oh my God, that's what this is.
Come on, Charlie.
Charlie.
You gotta go Candy Mountain.
Shun the non-believer, Charlie.
Shun.
Shun. God, how old is that?
I don't know. That and Carl, that kills people, Carl.
Oh god, I fell off the edge there. But I survived! Oh, the chocolate fucked me up. As it is apt to do.
So I've definitely, while doing this marathon of, self-punishment, been eating the coffee dark chocolate bars from Libet. And I forgot that I was eating this particular kind. And it's not like caffeine really messes me up too much, but like I ate like an entire thing in like 5 minutes and then realized
that it's caffeine. I had a friend who ate a whole bunch of chocolate covered coffee beans.
I loved
thinking that they were something else.
Oh no. Like Raisinets or something?
Just downing that, and I'm like...
How could you not tell the difference?
I don't know, but I'm just sitting here going, we're going to be peeling you off the ceiling in about an hour. And we were.
Oh God, I love coffee-covered chocolate beans.
I was telling...
Coffee-covered chocolate beans. I'm so sorry, you guys. Chris was like, maybe I should stream by myself tonight. And I was like, I'll be fine.
And then I pulled the Mark Zuckerberg story from Game Grumps. Maybe I'll do most of the talking in the Game Grumps section.
Arent is fine.
Now, I was telling Libet on Sunday, because I got a lot of shit accomplished around the house on Sunday. This is why I don't do drugs. Because if I have a modicum of energy, which Sunday was a rare feat for that of, like, I was doing some repair stuff. I had to fix up the banister downstairs. I was doing a ton of laundry. I did dishes, dealing with trash and recycling. I also moved a whole bunch of the shit from my room into the living room. I started removing some furniture around. I was just... And Libet's like, are you going to take a break anytime soon? No, I'm fine. I got shit. I can do more shit. I got shit to do. I got a bunch of recording done. Like, this is why I don't do drugs, because that false sense of energy. And to quote someone you know, got a lot of shit done on cocaine.
I miss her so much.
Not allowed to do cocaine. I've never done it. I've never done a lot of drugs because I just don't trust myself for it for the most part, because I don't like losing control.
Yeah, I'm not interested because I don't like the sense of losing control.
And, some of it, like, yeah, I grew up in the DARE era where it's just like, we're going to scare the shit out of you. If you do cocaine once, you'll die, kind of like, I know that's not accurate, but like, a friend of a friend, someone that I hung out with, a couple of times a year, but not a direct friend of mine. I was at a gathering with him, and he mentioned that he had done mushrooms for the first time. And he swore he was never going to do it again, because he looked at his friend sitting next to him, and he hallucinated that his friend's face melted off. And I'm like, no fucking thank you. I don't need, my brain is already...
I have dreams like that enough on my own, thank you.
Like, my brain is already a chaos-scape. I don't need it uncontrollably going off on it. Like, I was telling Jess that, Brennan Lee Mulligan from Dimension 20 and College Humor and all that, he is like a less restrained version of Luth. For all of you who've seen Luth on the channel, that's Luth being reined in, for the most part. And some of those times I was not doing a good job of reining him in. But it's still him behaving himself. When it's just Luth, Jesus Christ, the things that come out of that child's mouth. But Brennan is just a whole level ahead of that. And I'm like, that is the kind of shit my mind would do if I were on some of these drugs. I would sit here and just, this McRib goes all the way down.
I mean, sometimes that shit I do already.
Right?
Sober and awake.
Chocolate beans. The rare Diablo drop.
Yeah, I have adverse reactions to some things that are supposed to be sedatives. Caffeine really doesn't get to me. Like,
Caffeine?
It doesn't make me hyper.
Yeah.
If I ingest enough of it, my physiology will react and my heart rate will go up. But
see, in my case, It will keep me awake.
It doesn't do anything else.
But it doesn't make me hyper. Caffeine, unless I have very strong concentrations of it. Like, the one time I had, like, actual coffee, I was just like, yeah!
That's not good again.
I don't think I can do it again. Yeah!
You did it again. With great fidelity. Well done.
But, like, I used to drink Surge and Jolt and Balls and...
Oh, I miss Balls. Wow. Should have thought that through. My bad.
I miss Balls.
Man,
Jesse James,
I miss
2022.
Yeah, no, I am...
Penn says, congratulations, Jess, you may be neurodivergent. What was the first clue?
So I'm finding out more and more, like, I'm about to be 40, but I'm finding out all of this stuff about myself, mostly because, I actually have health care. And so I've had the fibro for a while. I definitely realized that I am on the spectrum. Now it's like, there are signs that I have EDS. There are signs that I might have ADHD. I'm just learning all sorts of new and interesting things about myself. And most of them they're morally neutral. But interesting. Makes a lot of things from childhood make more sense. Yeah, gas station boner pills are the only drug any of us can believe in, as per channel lore.
I mean...
Sold right next to the fake roses that fold out into panties.
We figured out I was autistic in college. I learned I was ADHD when I was 40. I mean, Libet keeps saying that I probably have some undiagnosed ADHD. Jess keeps telling me I probably got some undiagnosed ADHD. I probably do. And yet here we are.
Burger?
That is not burger brown. That is not brown.
Nope. Nope, it's like toasted peach.
Yeah.
Man, I miss just randomly naming colors. My husband got a shirt once and nobody could decide what color it was, and so I just named it Indigo Dusk. And actually, it looked like indigo dusk. I mean, there's no other words that would fit.
Rise up.
There was a long time in there that I was like, I should work for Crayola. Better naming colors than they are. Spring green. It's boring. That's wasabi.
Wasabi. Oh, I think I might have a low battery now.
Yeah, the having healthcare is a handy bit of that, and I only have that by the good graces of other people, because there was a lot of stuff wrong with me that went untreated for decades.
Decades.
Yeah. And the first few years of like the full-blown fibromyalgia without having anything to treat it other than aspirin. Well, not aspirin, BC powder, because that's the only thing that worked.
Ultrasaur.
Which is why I have an ulcer now. So, you know, it's great. Handy.
I mean, yeah. Fuck. Okay, so I had acne growing up. I mean, who doesn't? Mine wasn't even that bad, but like the topical stuff wasn't doing a damn thing for it.
Mm.
Mostly because I was in martial arts, and so I'm sweating profusely. I'm eating terribly. I'm
a teenage boy.
And I'm getting next to no sleep. So I went on Accutane.
Oh, boy.
And that cleared the acne right the fuck up.
Oh, I bet it did.
But it wasn't until my honeymoon that I realized... So, for my honeymoon, we went to the mountains and stayed at a place my parents had. And on the TV there was a commercial for a class action suit for Accutane, causing all sorts of GI issues. And I'm sitting here going, the 10 years almost leading up to that? Like, not quite, like, because we got married in 2010. But, you know, from at least 2005 to 2010, I was just
wrecked
in a shit show of the human body. And it continued on to, like, 2012, 2013 is when I finally started seeing doctors about it. And like, I went to so many doctors, I had so many procedures, and they could not, for the life of them, figure out what the fuck the cause was. But it was in 2010 that I'm like, Accutane, class action suit. And I talked to the doctors about it, they're like, yeah, no, probably not. And then I finally get to the GP that I have now, and he's like, yeah, that's entirely possible.
Yeah. Like, yeah, man. For all of the good it does, it fucks some shit up.
Yeah, like
my mom's entirely medically unnecessary hysterectomy. Where they actually, on top of doing a whole bunch of stuff that did not make sense, nicked her bladder and then lied about it. So the persistent bladder infection that went on for about a year after the surgery. That was pretty great. Oh, thanks, guys.
It's like,
Appreciate you.
I've never really had anything bad to say about healthcare because I know our healthcare system is just complete shit show. And the people who are actually providing healthcare are trying to do what they can within the confines. There are some that are just awful. just hands down. But, you know, thankfully, the most part, all the ones that I've encountered are trying to do their best with their hands tied behind their back and encased in cement. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, I
You know, if we just had universal health care and took the insurance companies out of the equation.
I mean, having a for-profit healthcare system just seemed like a dumb idea to begin with.
Yeah. Privatizing something that should be a human right is cruel and unusual. And yet, we do it all the time. America!
Fuck yeah!
Capitalism!
What did I say a minute ago?
Yeah!
Yeah.
That's an interesting bowl of soup.
It's cheese fondue again.
Oh, okay.
We're back in the cheese fondue.
That makes more sense, because I was like, why?
This is not...
This is such a bizarre grouping of things to be in soup. I should have seen the fondue stick, sorry.
I mean, this is also not cheese fondue. There are crackers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, it's not. It's,
There's just a hot dog, just...
you know... Yeah, no. I don't even like cheesy dogs.
Dry skin meant that acne wasn't huge, just the skin cracking and bleeding. See, another fun
Hear
thing
you in the pillowcases.
the Accutane did is now I suffer from full body eczema. I will just wipe my, and like, it's like snow. Like, I have to wash so often and exfoliate. God, I hate that word. Fuck the hate word exfoliate.
Fuck the hate word exfoliate.
Fuck the hate. I'm sorry.
Would you like to make some fun of me some more?
Yes, I would actually.
Okay.
Are you listening to the with fanfic?
Listen, that was a whole lot of the sounds, and I'm exhausted. Exhausted. I'm exhaustion. Hi, I'm exhaustion. Hi, I'm Dad. Oh, Christ. Oh, that's nice. It won't be nice in a minute, but that's nice. So I figured out what started the recurrent migraines. I mean, it didn't help once I fixed it because I was just already there. I had put on a different pair of glasses, and the prescription really isn't that different. The axis is just slightly off, and I had been staring at my computer intently for days with the axis just a bit off, and that's what started the whole thing. I switched over to the other glasses, and I thought I was okay for like half a day, and then
realized, no, I am not.
Joke's on me! Surprise, motherfucker!
Ha! Fuck you, other Kirby. These delicious treats are mine!
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
You're cool.
Fuck you. I'm out. Yeah, okay, it's not nice anymore.
Like, this helped for all of...
I mean,
10
just not
seconds.
having the pressure on the side, on flames on the sides of my face. Yeah.
How do I change my pedestal? I did that earlier. Now I don't know how. I thought it was in the character treats collection.
Oh, excuse me. Ooh.
I don't think that's it. It's not in costumes
Is
and
it
colors.
the rewards?
Maybe? That's...
Oh, no.
that's just all the stuff I've got.
That's...
So much.
There are other ways to name that menu item.
Yeah.
That would make more sense.
No, yeah, not costumes, colors, not free rolling. I have to figure that out. Unless this did it, and I just probably didn't. I should have the Ultra Sword as my...
Ultra Lord
No,
Life.
I've got just a regular one. Oh, fuck you. This game has a surprising amount of fuck you. For being a Kirby game.
Oh, man.
What's up?
That sucks, Pen. Had an interview on July 29th, August 16th. I get a phone call. Apparently they loved my interview. My references raved about me, and they were all set to offer me the job. And the person who left it asked if they could come back. By union rules, they had to let them since the person left on good terms. I mean, I am a pro-union kid, just all the way through. But
Same.
but
It does suck for the non-union people.
and it just sometimes I mean, capitalism, job market, it's all shitty. And there is a little bit of like, look, fucker, you left for a reason. Like,
Yeah. Size up.
level up.
Look at me in my ominous hunger.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good rule.
Yeah.
It's just it can be frustrating to be on the other end of the
Yeah,
rule.
it's good for, you know, the union members, but for people on the outside, it can suck for.
I loathe living in right to work states, and like I cannot seem to get away from them.
Oh God, one of my worst work stories is when I was working private security. I was working 80-hour weeks. Some of that was by choice because I wanted the money, but I didn't have enough time to actually spend the money. And I was working basically 4 days solid because I'd do, like, I'd go in on like Friday, work, do a double, go home for 8 hours and get less than 8 hours of sleep, go back, do another double. You know,
Yeah.
and like, I basically worked from Friday through Sunday morning. And I worked at a school, so like I was the off hours security. And
Hey, I know what school that was.
you do. You lived near it.
I did.
And I had specifically stated that there was a week that I could not do this.
Yeah.
And we had just gotten a new site captain. He's like, not a problem, not a problem. And so, like, one evening, my relief was supposed to show up, and he didn't show up. And so about a half hour after he was supposed to show up, I called my site captain. I was like, hey, not showing. He's like, oh, we're taking care of it. Don't worry. An hour passes. Call back. It's like, I'm still here. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. We'll. So I called the guy who hired me, who was technically my site captain's boss. He's like, oh, well, I can come out and take care of it, but if you have to call me to do that, then there's obviously something wrong. And, like, you should just be able to handle this. I'm like, I've been here for, at this point, I'd been there for almost 36 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like, I had been there way longer than I should have been. And so my site captain calls, he's like, so here's the deal. If you can just stay, through your normal... I'm like, no, I can't. I told you I can't do this week. I've got shit I have to do.
Yeah.
And, like, the schedule had been posted because apparently my relief just decided he wasn't going to come to work. No, there's no call, no show. I'm like... And we were so short-staffed that we couldn't pull anyone to cover this location. And so it was just well, you got to stay. And I'm like, no, the fuck I don't. Like, you are required to actually give me a break. Like, I am required.
Yep. Even in a right-to-work state, assholes.
And they're like, well, we can come and give you a relief for an hour. And I'm like, if you send someone here to cover me for an hour, I'm just not fucking coming back.
Yeah.
And I ended up quitting that night because I got flack from my captain. He's like, look, I mean, sometimes you just got to take one for the team. I'm like, I take one for the team every fucking week. Yeah. I work 80 hours a week so that you don't have to hire another person because we don't have the people. Or you don't have to constantly pull someone and have me show them how to do the rounds at this particular location. I'm like, I'm already taking several for the team. And my boss's boss was just like, just really fucking condescending about it. And I'm like, no, I fucking quit. And he's like, well, that's your choice. I'm like, that means you're coming to do this. Like, so you should... Like
you should have done. Because it's your responsibility.
Yeah. It's like, he was trying to get out of the actual secure... Like, he was trying to be management rather than the actual grunt on the ground. I'm like, guess what? You're now the grunt on the ground again because I'm fucking... And, like, my site captain called me the next day. He's like, look, you don't have to quit. I've talked to our boss. Like, if, take a week off. I'm like, no.
It's too late for that.
I have enough money that I can go 4 months without worry about a paycheck because I've been doing this for so long that I will find another job in that time.
Yeah. And
I did, thankfully. But, like, I just outright quit my job because it was so... And, like, I remember calling my dad, and I'm like, what is... He's like, sometimes work sucks. Like, I'm not going to say anything against... I'm not going to judge you poorly if you quit, because this is unacceptable. It's like, you are in a right-to-work state. Like, they hold all the chips.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I know, unfortunately. Fuck them. But, like, that was... probably one of my worst job stories ever.
I think the only job that I've actually, like, just straight out quit, like, on site, was as a cashier at Marshall's. I mean, first of all, it was just terrible. And I didn't have a car, and I was walking 1.5 miles in the Texas heat to go to work. I actually came in, moving from heat exhaustion and into heat stroke. And
that fine line
was put on the register where a nurse actually came up and was like, no.
You need to not be here.
And I was like, well, I can't leave because then I just have to walk in the heat again. Like, what am I going to do? And they threatened me with firing me. I showed up to work, but I was stuck in the bathroom throwing up with a migraine, and threatened to fire me over that. And one day it was just, I just couldn't. I couldn't.
Well, my second worst
It was
work story was kind of similar.
I was actually teaching some of the other staff English because they weren't being paid enough to take ESL classes.
Like, I was working as a pharmacy tech, and we were retail pharmacy, which is probably one of the worst pharmacies, because, you know, you get all the bullshit of retail and all of the limitations of the healthcare system all in one. And we were understaffed. I was the only tech working that day, or at least for that shift. Didn't get to take a break, didn't get to take a lunch. As soon as the evening shift person, because there's supposed to be 2 people for morning shift, 2 people for evening shift, along with the pharmacist. So you had one tech filling prescriptions, the other tech ringing prescriptions up, and then the pharmacist who was verifying everything, and then speaking to patients. And it was just me. So, like, I'm having to help with the filling, mostly just running the register, but my pharmacist fucking went on lunch. Because she has to, by law.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm sitting here going, for an hour, I'm just the only one there. I can't fill prescriptions. I can't answer, like, we had a doctor line. I can't answer the doctor line. I can't do anything because I did not have the certifications to do these things. I was not in pharmacy school at that point. I was getting ready to go to pharmacy school, but I wasn't there yet. And so as soon as the night shift person, we're supposed to have a couple of hours of overlap, I count down my register and I fucking leave because I have an hour left of my shift.
Yeah.
The next day I come in and I notice that all of my hours have been scratched out and changed on the printed schedule. And I'm like, what's the deal with that? And my pharmacist was like, yeah, we'll talk about that later. I'm like, yes, we will, because that's not enough hours for me to get by. And so she takes me into the back and she's like, I was here yesterday watching you on the security camera and you just left as soon as... I'm like, yeah, I didn't take a fucking lunch. Like,
yeah.
I'm allowed a lunch, so I left early. I'm not working through the full shift. If I'm, like, you budget hours this way to where the hour lunch that we have, we don't get paid for.
Yeah.
So, like, if I stay for lunch, I'm going into overtime, and you guys get mad at me for that. If I leave, I'm leaving an hour early, leaving the evening person in the same situation I'm in, which, not my fucking problem.
Yeah.
And so she's like, well, we've changed our hours to more reflect the hours that you seem to want. And I'm like, the fuck you have? And I go to the store manager, I'm like, okay, I'm putting in my notice because you allowed the pharmacist, and you were in on that, to let her just sit in the fucking office watching me for at least an hour, probably more. Be the only fucking person there.
Yeah.
And then you guys chew me out for actually leaving and sticking to the hours that I'm supposed to, and then my hours get cut as a response. And so and he's like, no, we don't need to do that. I'm like, I left for the day.
We do.
I left for the day, and I came back, and my pharmacist's like, I thought you didn't want, like, no, you, and like, I just laid into her that, like, you are a, and like, I went back later and I told various levels of management that she was a piss poor pharmacist. I believe she eventually lost her pharmacy license because she there were a couple of things that she did that were fucking shady, and she felt like I had PTSD from that for a little while, because during that time I know 2 prescriptions that I either helped fill or rang up. Like 2 prescriptions. These are people that I know. Their prescriptions were filled with the incorrect medicine. And in one case, it wasn't bad. And the only reason why she didn't lose her license then is because, like, she was supposed to get, like, high-end Tylenol. Mm-hmm. She got glucose control medication. And the only reason why my pharmacist didn't get fired is because the prescription was for someone and their spouse took it at their doctor's suggestion until he could call in a prescription. But because he technically took medication that was not prescribed to him, my pharmacist skirted under that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on the job history aspect, 7. I mean, between attempting to pursue a career in academia and that not working out, but losing working time then, and then disability.
Yeah. That
isn't actually, like, I haven't gone through the state and been declared disabled yet, because I know the fight that's going to be. Yeah. Job history's real fucking spotty.
Yeah, I'm glad I have a slightly better job at the moment. Right now it's kind of pissing me off because of bureaucracy, but I know it's...
Yay, corporate job!
It's corporate.
Accounts payable, Nadine speaking. Please hold.
But also, like I got super frustrated, at someone who could fire me on the spot the other day. And, like, I went in and had a meeting with him in his office, and...
You used your customer service voice.
Well, I didn't even need to really use my customer service voice, because when I went in and he was like, so what's going on? What's the problem? I'm like, this is the problem. People are walking off with stuff. He's like, okay, I'll address it. And I'm like, these are the other problems we're running into, and they're not anything that we can really do. And he understood my frustration, because he was just as equally frustrated about it, that it's not anything that can really be addressed easily.
Yeah.
So, like, that was very helpful. But, the problem is we're still really no closer to
fixing it,
being able to fix it.
Yeah.
They had to put the blowjob tree in.
Yep.
He just had to be in here.
Smile like a donut, peck like a chicken. Yes.
What? Smile like a donut, cluck like a chicken?
Peck like a chicken.
Peck like a chicken. I still don't understand why, but I will...
Smile like a donut, and then peck. Blowjob! It's a blowjob! Jesus!
I could not...
I cannot be the only person who has heard that colloquialism.
Do you know if he never fired your predecessor? I know it took... But I also know that if I went into his office and just be like, listen here, fuckface, that I would have gotten fired. But I also wouldn't do that because I know it's not him. It's just a breakdown of communication on, 3 levels. And I get it. It sucks. But he was super great about, coming up with, okay, well, let's figure out a way to fix this. And, I'll reach out and, I'll do things on my end. Which I've never really had a boss and he's not technically my boss, is the thing, but I've never really had him, like, yeah, let me take care of it on my end. Like, not a super common thing to happen.
Yeah.
But also heard it, Jess, at least in the first half. You've definitely got job security where we are. Yeah, I do. I mean, I know that, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm going to get fired daily. Like,
I just, it's just... there are sometimes you tell me about what's going on at work, and I definitely am like, I'm sorry, that sucks better you than me. Because what was that conversation we were having this morning? I was talking about having to, like, write the introduction, and, like, I couldn't just be like, look, fuckers. You actually have to, like, say words. Which is an interesting perspective for a writer.
yeah.
But I can't, like, I that's not true. I can. But the inside is going, look, fuckers!
Part of the reason I got let go from a lawyer job was probably the fact that they were all very conservative and I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a minute there that I thought I was actually going to get fired from my last job because of my Pussies Against Trump bumper sticker. Because going to clients' houses, and that's not professional. But then she just started letting me use her van.
Yeah.
Which is not how I know I can...
Drive a van.
Drive a minivan. That's not a thing I ever thought I would do in my entire life. Ever.
Well, we are about out of time for this live stream.
Minivans, job security, and look, fuckers. And,
and apparently blowjob. I don't...
Smile like a donut.
Smile. Yeah.
Peck like a chicken.
Yeah, okay. I could not piece that together. Because I'm like, how do you fucking smile like a donut? And now yeah. Definitely not one I've ever heard before.
Ways in which I'm more southern than you.
Again, I'm hill folk.
Yeah,
well, technically mountain folk.
I'm hill folk.
You're hill folk.
And then just straight south. What I mean, Central Florida and Texas and
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you all for tuning into this live stream. It's been interesting. So interesting.
Hey, aren't you glad I didn't skip out on this stream?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, so I've got Shining Soul 2 and Streets of Rage 4 going up during the week. And I'm spending a lot of time working on the card game, so hopefully I'll actually get some stuff uploaded for that, so I can start showing that off. But yeah, and you've got...
my big, giant, professionally...
Two-handed.
Writing gig is about to finish, and hopefully I can tell you all about it later. And then I'll be jumping in on my new contract work job and still writing for Sweatpants and Coffee. So I'll probably have some stuff go up in September. I won't in October. So
yeah. So yeah. In the meantime, we'll be back next week, same hat time, same hat channel, Wednesday 7:30 Eastern for another live stream. And I think we're going to be doing another Kirby game since Jess has never played an act. I may have to start with Superstar and then do Kirby's Epic Yarn because never playing a Kirby, like you have to have one where you get the powers. Epic Yarn, you don't really get the powers. The more you know, Shooting Star on Innuendo.
okay, maybe it's less south and more military? I don't know.
I mean, it's something.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay as healthy as you can.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Wear a mask.
Get your booster if you can.
You know, don't spit into the mouth of the elderly.
Don't do that.
Don't rub your faces. Don't rub your children's faces. Sorry, I watched Randy Felt face before this. It's like, these.
But yeah, no, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.
And see you next week.